Welcome everyone to today's webinar. We've got a special guest, Riaan Kriel, also known as the social media surfer. So today you will be talking on the do's, don'ts, and how to be successful on LinkedIn. He recently decided to rebrand his personal brand to be something else in the norm. And he has been working with social media for the past 10 years in different industries and decided in 2017 to get started on his own small boutique ad agency, with the journey being a never-ending learning experience. I would believe so. Keeping up with the trends and knowing what is going on with the algorithm is not the easiest. And Riaan is part of a LinkedIn creators group where they share knowledge between each other and other platforms as it changes, ensuring that they have the knowledge between them and helping to help their clients for the best that they can. Well, Riaan, I think today is going to be quite an interesting topic, especially LinkedIn and all the success that it can bring with if you use it correctly.
Yeah, Chris, no, definitely. Yeah, it's as I said in the bio as well, not the easiest thing to keep up with. I think the whole social media, all of the platforms, be it Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of them, you have to keep up with the trends to be relevant. And especially in these times, you want to be. If you're not relevant and you're not out there and your name's not out there, you're not going to be known. And if you're not known, then how are you going to do business?
Exactly.
And I think especially being that, or with that being said, that's where the future is going. I think the online, if you're not online these days, you're missing out big time.
Yeah, it's a digital world today. So that's very true. So yeah, Riaan,
definitely.
The stage is over to you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. So as you heard, I'm Riaan, the social media surfer Kriel. I own a small agency called Ultimately Online, based in Cape Town, South Africa, or in Gordons Bay, South Africa. And I've been in the online industry for a while, past 10 years to be exact. And as Chris said, a few years ago, I decided to go on my own and do everything and learn a bit more and get myself to a point where I can learn others. So as you can see, who am I? The social media surfer. You can see the look. I can actually, a few months ago, my wife came to me and said to me, why don't I grow my hair? Because she wanted me to look like Jason Momoa. And never knowing that would eventually turn into a brand, which we recently launched. And this brand was launched to especially show people online that what is possible with a new brand and how it can grow and how quick it can grow. Saying quick, marketing is not a quick thing. If I say quick, it's a long run. It might be within the next 6 months. It might be within the next year, but it's a journey. And it's exciting to see this new character. We designed an avatar. As you can see, it kind of looks like me. Maybe not totally, but it's close enough. So this social media surfer was born because I've now got the opportunity to help others on social media. As you can see, I try to imitate him as close as possible to myself. Different styles, different photos, and this will be the only photo of myself because the avatar will do the rest of the work from here on forward. A quick list of what we will be discussing today, and you can make notes, but please be very, very open to what I'm saying. There's a lot of information coming your way, and there is a Q&A afterwards. So if you've got any questions, please keep it for the end. You can put it in the chat. Chris will pick it up, and then he'll put it back to me at the end when the presentation is done. So firstly, why many people fail on LinkedIn and why you don't have to. Secondly, let me just move my screen here. The secret success of LinkedIn. There's a few tips and tricks that I'm going to tell you, do's and don'ts. What works, what's not working, what worked, and what won't work at the moment. And then why LinkedIn is the place to be to close more and to scale your business ultimately. Because that is why you are on the platform. Being a more business-minded platform, it is a platform where you need to be relevant, but I'll get to there's a lot of information, as I said, coming your way in the next few minutes. What I've been experiencing in the past few, call it years, on LinkedIn, there was a big hype around LinkedIn a long time ago, and the people was generating leads, and I decided, listen, I need to give this a go. I was more of a Facebook, Instagram expert, the management side, and also the paid advertising. And after a while on LinkedIn, and that was a few years ago, I decided, no, I don't think LinkedIn is for me, because LinkedIn is more of or in my perception at that time, LinkedIn was more of a posting a resume or your CV there and hoping for someone to see you, to land a job, or a platform that you apply for work and that type of thing. So I thought that running a business won't be that successful on LinkedIn. And then about a year or two ago, I decided to get back to LinkedIn and started getting more knowledge about it, because I think my knowledge was not enough to make LinkedIn a success for myself. So I started getting back on LinkedIn, seeing what the people are doing, following the right people. I took a course or two, and then I saw this can work. After I've started following a certain process, which I will explain a bit later on, I started generating leads, and I started speaking to the right person, and I started getting to know people that was actually interested in what I'm doing, and that was actually willing to take on my services and pay for it, which is essentially why you are on LinkedIn, because you want to do business. And LinkedIn being a platform which is more business to business orientated or business to professional orientated and less business to customer, that was exactly what I wanted to do, because I deliver a service to businesses. So after starting to get these leads, there was a lot of things that started to happen. I didn't have to pay for leads anymore. I could generate them just through my LinkedIn profile. I didn't have to direct them to a website. I didn't have to direct them to a funnel. I didn't have to run an autoresponder through them. Webinars, events, none of them was necessary. I just needed to do my part every day and consistently, and at the end of the day, it started working. And as I said, there's a lot of things that I'm going to repeat through the webinar, because it's important that you understand the steps you need to take and the type of work you need to put in to make LinkedIn work for yourself. So after I started realizing what can happen with LinkedIn, I decided, okay, so I need to give this a go, and I need to start getting the message across to people, because there's so little people that are on LinkedIn that are not using it correctly. And if you know how to use it correctly, this can be a gold mine for anyone in almost, I would say, almost any industry, depending on who you're targeting. So, wrong page. Okay. So there was an old way and there's a new way. And in the description, you'll see there's a leads method which I'll get to later on. So the old way was sending out requests. to connections that you think might be interested, or just spamming everyone with a connection request, hoping to get any type of response out of them. The average of 15% was the acceptance ratio, which meant if you sent out 100 connection requests, you would get about 15% or 15 of them getting back to you. And they're not on a business level. Then they've only responded to your connection request. They haven't gotten around to actually speaking to you and doing business. And once you had the connection request, you would send them spammy and salesy written messages saying, listen, I've got this product and you need to buy from me, etc., which leads to a very low level of leads and actually pissing off a client or potential client and annoying a potential prospect. So that was not the way to go, although that is ways that people used to do it in the olden days. It didn't have a positive effect on especially people that wanted to be successful on LinkedIn and didn't have the chance by following that type of thing. The new way to do it, or the right way to do it, is to add value. So before you do send a connection request, you need to add value to this person that you're trying to connect to. Especially when you do you need to have some kind of accreditation on your LinkedIn profile. So should I send someone a connection request and they go onto your profile, there need to be value on that profile that would assist them in connecting with you. When you send a connection request, it is of utmost importance that you add a message saying why you want to connect to this person. Whether it is someone in your industry that you might think might be of value in the future, whether it is a possible business prospect, it doesn't really matter who you're trying to connect with. Adding a reason or a little bit of an informative message into your connection request will 9 out of 10 times land you the connection. And when you have that, the person will already know who you are. They already know why you want to connect with them, so they will expect a conversation from your side. That leading to up to 80% acceptance ratio of your connection requests. And then you've got a process, the leads method, which I call it, of messaging. So it's a certain message or a certain type of message that you send to this new connection of yours to take the relationship further. The biggest part of, I would say, LinkedIn or the sales process is building the relationship before you sell. LinkedIn is not a platform that you sell on. LinkedIn is where you build a relationship, and LinkedIn is the place where you give the value. The sale will come itself. If you add the value and you have the relationship, the sale is done, basically. So that gives you a higher level of leads and a grateful prospect for informing him or her at the end of the day what will be happening. And that is just by doing a simple message request with a message added to it. Okay, so LinkedIn does the following for you. If you do handle LinkedIn the right way, they will generate consistent, high quality leads and business, or that would eventually turn into business. It will get you on different things. People will start noticing you, and if you are successful on LinkedIn, they would want you to talk on their either podcasts, webinars, events, networking functions, wherever because they have seen you and you are known on LinkedIn, they will start seeing and following you. So, which on LinkedIn puts you in front of almost it's between 850 and 900 million business people at the moment. You have only a person that's on LinkedIn. I think the average that they have said is about 3 to 5 minutes that they spend. So you have very little time to catch the attention of this person. But when they are on LinkedIn, it is not like Facebook, and that's where people get confused, because it's not, although it's a social selling platform where you build relationships, it's not like Facebook where you have your funny cat videos or people dancing like on TikTok or that type of thing. The person that is on LinkedIn is 9 out of 10 times a person that can make a decision in a business, or that can make a decision in his business. So this puts it more of a unique type of platform, where your other platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of those are more for socializing than social selling, like on this one. So because of that I decided that the functions that LinkedIn is having at the moment, it gives me the opportunity, because I've learned this and I've experienced what is happening, and I'm part of a huge group of creators that gives advice to each other. I decided to take it one step further and give my knowledge to other people so that they can also be successful on this platform. So imagine this. Like I spoke about earlier, you're able to generate high quality leads on demand through LinkedIn. You could have your ideal client wanting to speak to you directly, not somebody that might know or a shot in the dark. This is somebody that knows exactly why you are there, what you are doing, and that they can connect with you, and that they can either use your services or connect with you and join with your services. There's business opportunities out there that can be, that you didn't even know existed, that forms on this platform. And you can do this without paying for ads. This is a generic, or not a generic, what's the word I'm looking for? I forgot the word.
Almost like a natural.
Yes, it's a natural, but there's a word for it. But it's
organic.
It's growing on its own. Sylvia?
Organic.
Organic, yes, that's the word.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Stephanie. So you can do away with that whole behind the scenes sales process. LinkedIn, you can use LinkedIn as the only thing that to generate sales if you do it the right way. So the reason people overlook LinkedIn, and I think if you look through the points quickly, it's what I thought. It's first of all, it's like applying for a job. It's a CV, resume type of thing. People compare this to Facebook and Instagram, and as I said earlier on, this is a total different platform. Facebook, Instagram, socializing. LinkedIn is for business people. They think you have to be big and corporate to make it work. No, you don't have to. This is for freelancers, professionals, single business owners, small and medium enterprises. Big companies, yes, but they normally spend the money. And you don't always want to spend the money. People try posting content or use the sales navigator, but they never got the results. And there's reasons why. Consistency is one of the biggest things in LinkedIn that can make or break you. And if you're not consistent with your marketing on LinkedIn, then things like this will happen. And then they think it's hard and it takes a lot of time. To be honest, I know people that are successful on LinkedIn that don't spend more than 15 minutes a day, but they are consistent and they do the same thing over and over and they add value. So it works for them. And these guys are creators. So they do exactly what I do. And they've got hundreds of thousands of followers just by doing that every day. So I showed you the leads method earlier on. The leads method, or the LinkedIn leads method, is laser focused, expertly connecting, adding value, directing and closing, and then scaling. So I'm going to elaborate a little bit more of it down the line. Let's start with the first part. Your profile is this is your landing page. If you don't have a website or you don't have anything else, this will be your landing page. The first thing people will see. One of the biggest mistakes people make is, if you look in the where the inspired consultancy, training consultant, and life coach is sitting. This is the problem that people are facing. First of all, how many consultancies are there? How many training consultants are there? How many life coaches are there? You don't want to put the title down. What you want to do there is you want to solve a problem for your client. You want to say something like, I help businesses, professionals, freelancers, enterprises, getting or providing a solution, and then the medium you use it for. To put that into context for you, I would say something like, I help entrepreneurs, businesses and professionals get more leads through social media. That says what I do, what I solve, and where I do it. The second thing, or that's actually the first thing, is the top of your banner, behind your photo. You want to explain exactly what you do on that banner. If you can't design someone or something, get someone to design you a professional banner that gives a little bit of a description, but is on par with what you do. So you'll see mine will say social media management and paid ads expert. So then that's in the headline, in the banner, right above my head, because that is also the first thing that the customer or prospect will see. And don't make your profile about you, because the person that is going to buy from you doesn't really care about you. They only care about what's best for them. And will you be the best fit for them? And will your product or service be of help to them? Or would it solve the problem that they've got? So the worst thing to do is to make your profile about yourself. This is mine. As you can see, I've put a little bit of humor into mine, doing it a bit different. So the social media surfer is in the social media ocean, using the perfect way to help companies and professionals get the perfect customers on social media. So that says what I do, how I do it, and what I use to do it. As you can see on my banner, social media management and paid expert. There is no what am I doing. You know exactly what I'm doing. I'm on social media, I do the management, and I'm paid ads expert as well. So a little bit of a how to do it. Your about section, same thing, not about you. You don't want to talk about yourself. You want to provide a solution, and you want to tell them about a problem that might be experienced in your industry. So, for example, you can use humor, you can use emojis. The more you create, the more you are a little bit of a creative, the better. And make it, or you have to optimize it. Optimizing meaning you have to use words in your about section and in your top section as well that can be picked up through the system. So should somebody be looking for a let's say in my industry, somebody is looking for a LinkedIn expert, it has to be somewhere on my profile. Or a social media expert, it has to be somewhere on my profile. The about section, somewhere along the line, you will mention your services, but in a way that they know that if they have got this problem, you have got that solution. You don't sell, not at all. You don't put their contact me today for my services. You give them the problem and you resolve it with a solution, and then you leave it like that. The next section of your profile is the featured section. And this is something that is overlooked a lot of times. The featured section can either be testimonials of past clients that gave you a good recommendation or testimonial. It can be the top performing post on your LinkedIn profile. That is mostly what I use, and most of the creators out there, or the thing that can add the most value when somebody goes onto your profile. So if I should go into your profile and I go to the featured section, I would see something that would help me or persuade me to be interested in doing business with you. Also a bit of, yes, he knows a bit of what he's talking about. So you want to sound professional or look professional at least in some of the places, and featured section is a very, very important place. The next one is the recommendation page, or the next recommendation section. That's also where people go to look. So at the end of the presentation, I'm going to give you a little script that you can use to get recommendations. This one was taken from a webinar where we were discussing some of the good things. And go and ask people. The only way you get recommendations is if you ask them. Okay, I see I'm running a bit behind on time, Chris. I'll try and go a bit faster. Is everyone's still okay? Everyone is still up there.
Very informative, Riaan.
Okay. The second part is the secret. The secret success of LinkedIn. So LinkedIn wants you to be successful on the platform. They want you to spend time there. They want you to generate sales. They want you to get your leads. They want you to be or spend the most time as possible there, and obviously spend your money and time on the platform as well. But the more successful you are on LinkedIn, the more people will be on it, because you will obviously start talking and people will start joining. And they are, I'll show a bit of figures just now, but they want you to use the platform to grow your business, because if your business is growing, they will be growing. LinkedIn has got a ranking score system called the SSI, or Social Selling Index. So this is something that shows how active you are and how successful you are on your LinkedIn profile itself. They score it through 4 layers. One is for representing or establishing a brand. One is for engagement. One is for connecting with the right people. And one is for communication, if I'm not mistaken. As you can see, mine is on 84. So I'm active, very active on LinkedIn itself. And that is a score that you can go and check yourself. You have to be signed into LinkedIn on your profile, and then you can just go to the SSI. You can actually Google SSI, or Social Selling Index, for LinkedIn, and it will give you a link. I'll get Chris to send you the link so you guys can see what your SSI score is. And that is how you get ranked on LinkedIn. So the higher your SSI score is, the more relevant your content, etc., will be. So they will be preferred in front of your competitor if they are less active. Okay, then there's a Sales Navigator. I'm not going to go into that too much. The Sales Navigator is like your paid advertising site. That is where you can start with campaigns and do paid ads on the LinkedIn profile itself. Okay. LinkedIn also has a recommendation section when you go to your network, where they actually recommend what people they think you might want to connect to. So they're helping you all the way. They're telling you, listen, you are connected to this guy. Maybe you want to connect to this one as well. Whether it is a client, whether it is a prospect, whether it is someone in your industry, they will give a recommendation and say, listen, I see this is your type of profile. I think you must really try and connect with this person. Sometimes it's not someone you need or someone you want, but it gives a good indication. Somewhere between them, there will be someone that you want to connect with. The biggest no-no on LinkedIn is please don't spam people. Don't spam them with messages. Don't spam them with sales ideas. Don't spam them with connection requests. As I said earlier, when you do the request, give a little message saying, hi, I'm Riaan. I see you are a business owner. I'm also a business owner. I felt like maybe we can connect and we could maybe do business in the future. Number one, he knows who I am. He knows why I'm connecting, and I spoke about business. So he knows we're going to speak about business somewhere in the future. Okay, then stop using hope marketing. This is when you post and you post and you post and you have no direction, you have no clue what you're doing, you have no audience you are focusing on. You're just posting and hoping that somebody will see this. LinkedIn is very strange when it comes to this. And the top trends at the moment is commenting. So you can do a post now. The best time at the moment is 10 a.m., whichever time zone you're in. 10 a.m. Is more or less, between 10 and 11. Richard van der Blom is one of the biggest creators on LinkedIn, and you can actually go and look him up. He did an algorithm, he did a study on the algorithm, a 42-page algorithm report that he gave out, outlining the basics of the algorithm of LinkedIn. And he discovered there that 10 o'clock is your best time to post. And when posting, directly after that, for the next 15 minutes, try and find 10 articles or 10 people's posts that you can comment on. And don't just say, nice post, love it, great idea, something like that. At least 7 words. Showing something from your side, like a bit of advice or a bit of insight, showing your expertise in the specific field. So if you go and post, if I go and post on something that one of the creators would say, I would say, I love slide number 4. It resonates with me. I feel that slide number 5 might be influenced on this way. What do you think? So you get a bit of engagement, and you try and get that conversation going. And if that guy answers you, you also favored in the LinkedIn algorithm as well. Okay, part 3. If you're not on LinkedIn and you're not using it, please do it. Go and get onto LinkedIn and look at the things that I said today. If you're not sure, Chris has got my contact details. I'm available if you have answers or anything. So currently, as I said, roughly around 900 million people. By 2025, LinkedIn's goals are to be at 3 billion. How are they going to get there? They're getting people to interact, getting people to get to their platform. They are on their way there, and I think they are very well to maybe exceed that 3 billion as they are going on at the moment. LinkedIn was voted the most trusted network by Business Insider. 45% of LinkedIn users makes more than $75,000 a year. So you've got the guys with the income there. And then 4 out of 5%, 80% of them, 4 out of 5 of users on LinkedIn is either the business owner or they can make the decision for the company, which shows you that you've got the business-minded person there, the customer you want, the prospects are there, the platform is there, you just need to use it. The sad thing of LinkedIn is with that almost 900 million users, only 1% of them create content for their businesses and actually post them and is active on their profiles. The rest of them they're just viewing, looking at things that's happening, almost like a Facebook scroller, but obviously looking for the right thing. In the marketers department, only 15% of us on LinkedIn are creating content. The others are not. They are posting stuff that is irrelevant to their target market or their audience, and they are not even close to what they have in their hands at the moment. LinkedIn generates 3 times more visitors, visitor to lead conversion, which means that a person that views your profile on LinkedIn is 3 times more likely to convert than Facebook and Twitter combined. So if a person goes onto Facebook and Twitter, the chances are 3 times more that he will convert on LinkedIn than on those type of platforms. Okay, the next thing, do not use any connection or messaging automation tools. This will get you kicked off of LinkedIn. The moment they pick you up, they will suspend your profile and they will shut you down. If you are active on LinkedIn and there's certain things you can't do, outsource it. Like a LinkedIn banner, like if you can't write content, get someone, a copywriter to do it. Get anyone that can help you with your LinkedIn profile to get it set up successful. LinkedIn's got a huge email database. You can use it to the best of your ability without being spammy. You don't want to sell, add value, and I can't say this enough. The more value the add or you add, the better. Then there's a lot of unknowns, like you are restricted to 100 posts, connection requests a week. There's ways around it. There are ways around it. I can't give it to you today, but there are ways around it. Okay. Are we looking for time? Oh, okay. So, first of all, thank you. I've compiled or I've put together this little formula. When you ask for a recommendation, whether it's one of your clients, somebody that has worked with you before, your friends, anyone that can recommend you, this is the way you do it. So you'll go, hi, I am, your name or the customer's name or the guy you need or want the recommendation from. Hi, I'm Riaan. Before I met Chris, we struggled a lot with our LinkedIn profile. After working with Chris, they helped me or us to successfully create a profile on LinkedIn in 2 hours. I really recommend Chris if you want to get your LinkedIn profile sorted out. Something like that, if you understand what I'm saying. So I think that is it.
Wow,
Yeah.
lots of information, and I think you've got still so much to talk about.
There is, as I said to you earlier on, I actually sat last night and I was like, okay, I've changed this presentation 4 times already, because there is so much information that can be given to help people on LinkedIn that it is scary. I've got a part that I can do on the algorithm specifically. I mean, I can speak a half an hour plus on that, just to what you need to do every day for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So consistency is key. That is the big thing. If you go onto LinkedIn every day and you post something, obviously there is some tips and things I've got around that as well, how long the post needs to be. It needs to be a scroll stopper, that type of thing. And you need to make sense. You need to resonate with your potential client or prospect. So you need to solve the problem and you need to give the problem to them. And if they are someone that's going to be needing your services, they will know that problem. They will be experiencing it.
Riaan, before we go, Philip's got a question here. He asked, can you detail the lead steps again?
The leads?
Yeah, lead steps.
Okay, let me go quickly.
I've also added links and information on Riaan, so you guys can just go in the messages and you can follow him if you have any other questions.
Did you want that?
Yes, there's one.
Philip, is that it? obviously I elaborated a bit around them because the first three was the profile.
Yeah.
So it is your first impression. It's when somebody lands on your LinkedIn profile, that would be the first thing they see. Also, the photo needs to be from shoulders. It needs to be about 60% of the circle. And if you can put a bit of color behind you, much better. It needs to attract attention. So you want color. You want people to stop on your profile or even on your profile picture. So if you can get color behind it, even better.
Cool. Riaan, we've got another question here from Stephanie. She says, being
Yes.
scientifically and medically orientated with my product, how would I use LinkedIn safely? No services to offer yet.
Just say again.
So she asks, being scientifically and medically orientated with my product, how would I use LinkedIn safely? No services to offer yet.
Can I explain a bit, Riaan?
Yes, please do. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I'm a registered nurse, so I'm in the medical field with my product, and I need to start using LinkedIn more. I do believe, just to get the connections and then the leads, as you explained. But
Yes.
I don't have services to offer yet, and to do that. So it's basically a product in the medical field that I have to offer and that I sell. So I was thinking, if with my post in LinkedIn, am I going the right way if I post scientifically posts like researchers and things like that? Because
Yes.
I need to do
Yes.
that safely. So I
Yes.
need to make sure that copyright and all those. But if I don't get that, if I if I don't get enough, as ek nie genoeg van daai post, if I don't get enough posts or content,
Yeah.
then what can I offer? What can I post really? Because all I
Okay,
can
so
do at this stage is copy and
okay,
share.
but you've got it at the moment. You've got a product to sell, right?
Yes.
You haven't got services yet.
No.
That's fine because you are professional to business.
Yes.
Because you work in the medical industry and you provide to medical industry businesses.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that is what LinkedIn is for. So you will do the same thing because it's basically business to business, because it's your business to another business. It doesn't matter the field you're in. Adding value, and that's where that comes in, is giving a little background about your products. Medical information is great because they can read up. So giving the problem and the solution, you can talk about that. And then, yeah, graphics, you can graphics, you can put photos of the things that you talk about, or even of the product, that type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the challenge here is that I am sharing other posts, and maybe I will read from within the field. Is it safe to share those posts and then comment from my side on that?
Yes, just don't be the first one to share it, just don't be the first one to comment on your own posts, because that negatively affects your reach.
Yeah, no, but what I will do then is I will look on posts relative that is relevant to my product and my field. Yes. I can comment on that, and then I can share that.
Yes, you can.
It's safe enough.
What I will advise is that you do your own posts as well. Even if it's once a week, at least once a week, that's regular or seen as regular by LinkedIn. So it gives you a week to get something together to post. And after you posted that, then you do what you do at the moment. Then you go and share, then you go and comment, and try and do at least 10 to 15 comments a day.
Sure. Yeah, I am very, 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 yeah, I don't like that, but I will try that.
It's not easy to start with. I know, I've been there. But as soon as you start doing it, you'll see It's going to take a while. It's not an overnight thing. It's going to take you a few months. It's going to take you 4 to 6 months at least, but you'll see the difference at the end of the day. So it's going to, it will help.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Any other questions?
Doesn't look like it, Riaan. Riaan, I actually want to ask you, there was so much that you covered, and like we discussed as well, there's so much more that you can talk about. Maybe we should do another session this year, and maybe carry on where we stopped. I think this is very interesting,
Yes,
and
I think
so many people
maybe
can
maybe the next session I'll get away from the background and maybe do a bit of more what to do every day for that 15 minutes.
Yeah.
To get you recognized or to get you seen by LinkedIn. Maybe something like that.
Awesome.
We can definitely.
That sounds great. Thank you everyone for coming and attending this webinar. Very informative, and Riaan, I honestly can't wait for the next one.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you everyone for attending, and I hope it helps. If you need any help, please feel free. Just shout. I'm only a phone call away.
Right.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, Chris.